Yes, well done Gordon. Your attack on our daughter's residence at 1991 Everman Street just did its job. The RCPD are everywhere. Be sure to stay out of sight until we say so.
You got it, boss. Just say the word and we will be at Troika Airport.
Excellent.
What's the situation, honey?
A glorious one. The attack worked. The RCPD are in full panic mode searching the entire city for Gordon and his trio, opening up the road for our escape.
And what about the boy?
Emmanuel is right, hun. We can't leave the city until we snatch the boy we rightfully took 12 years ago with us as well.
We'll worry about all of that when the time comes, honey. Right now we have a bigger issue that we have to deal with before we talk about getting the boy.
Let me guess, the paper right.
Exactly. Our contract that we signed with Gordon and his team 12 years ago is the only thing the RCPD need to lock us up for good, which is why it needs to be destroyed at once.
Then let us destroy it now and bet on with it.
Patrons, my friend, we cannot just rip up the document. It could leave both a DNA trail and it could also be put back together within a matter of hours. The RCPD may have some evidence on us, but the smoking gun that will lead to the end of us is this one document.
We can burn it. That doesn't leave a trace behind.
It will, actually, as the ash that is left over by the document can easily be identified through forensic tests, and it can also lead to us getting caught anyway for arson.
Great, just great. You mean we are stuck with this document, and that there is no way to destroy it without it linking back to us?
There has to be a solution.
There is only one way to destroy this document without leaving a DNA link to us, while also rendering it impossible to put the paper back together. We have to shred it.
But darling, we don't have a shredder.
Yes we do. There's one in the core building in downtown Roga. Remember that structure, honey?
Do I? I remember like it was yesterday. Core was owned by William Lord after he retired from being a pilot when Concorde went down in 2003. After we kidnapped Lincoln in 2009, we were able to rig the lease to the core building and claim it as our own, kicking the Lords to the curb 9 months after Lincoln was kidnapped. Good times.
Exactly. Now comes the time. Take the document back to core and shred it to bits. We destroy this document. We destroy the only chance of the RCPD putting us away for good.
I'll take care of it, personally. One thing I don't understand though, why wait until now to destroy the document? Why didn't we do it 12 years ago?
We were well hunted down back then. Destroying it would have, like I said before, could have led back to us anyway. Tonight will be the big night, to finally rid ourselves of it.
I guess that's true.
Let's say we destroy the document, and leave not the behind. How will we find the boy?
Yellen, how will we find Lincoln? Our daughter or daughters must have probably hid him well about now. How will we find him?
Is I will buy the child to come out.
No.
What?
What?
I have a better idea.
I don't understand, why would Nickelodeon need these photographs of us from back in 2019?
Lori, it's late. What are you doing out of bed?
I can't sleep, Lenny. I can't get over the fact that our trip to Scotland in 2019 was documented somehow. For what reason I'm not sure, and that is scaring me. Another thing that bothers me is what Rivera said back down in the lobby, that our show never ended after we quit last year after the 4th season.
I know, Lori. I'm down too, but we will figure it out tomorrow together.
I doubt that very much, Lenny.
Oh, who is that? I'll get it.
Who is that at this time of night?
Lenny, thank goodness you opened up the door. Is Lori awake? I have to show her something important.
Sure, Luna. Lori is still awake. Come in.
Sure, Luna. I'm up, come on in. What's wrong?
Thank you. Lori, you dropped one of the pictures given to you by Rivera hours ago. But that's not the reason I'm coming to you at this time of night. It's what's printed on it.
What? What do you mean?
See for yourself, Lori. I covered the text with paper so that none of our other sisters see it, but peel it off and you will see what I am talking about.
I don't get it. These pictures are all of us in 2019. What could they mean? But Luna said she found something. I have to know.
Rivera was right, Lori. I did some checking after I discovered this. That movie has been out for over 2 months now. Mom and Dad must have pulled strings back in 2019 and gave the consent to have this be made behind our backs. We were being recorded the whole time we were in Scotland. After we quit the show on July 23 when season 4 ended, Nickelodeon met up with our parents and they gave their permission to have the disaster in Scotland become a movie. They replaced us, Lori, with hand-drawn versions of us. That is how the show continued in 1 year after we quit, and Mom and Dad along with Chris Savino were all in on it. We are still enslaved by Nickelodeon, Lori, even if we did quit on July 23, 2020, and are not on camera anymore.
You misunderstand our history, Luna. We quit the show on January 4, 2020, but we were forced against our will to continue acting in it for over 7 months until season 4 ended.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Boy, those extra 6 months were hell on all 11 of us. Plus we had to travel all the time between Royal Woods and Rogue City that whole time.
It was Luna. After the Michigan housing crash occurred in April, we were forced to move here to Roga from Royal Woods. But even then, Nickelodeon forced all 11 of us to constantly travel for 4 months between here and Royal Woods during season 4, until we were at last free on July 23, 2020.
But, are we really, Lori?
No, we're not.
Lori, who is this? Is this a painting of some sort? I haven't seen a square wall thing like this before.
That's a wall portrait, Lenny. And that is a picture of Harvey Beeks. He was a good friend of mine back in the day.
But I thought Carol was your best friend from back in the day.
No, Lenny. Carol is a friend of mine, don't get me wrong. But I have friends beyond our show at the time. Harvey Beeks is one of them.
Yay, can I meet him when this is all over, Lori? How come you never told us about him?
I wish I can introduce you, Lenny. But I can't do that, I'm afraid. He disappeared 4 years ago in the fall of 2017.
Really, what happened to him?
Yeah, Lori. What happened to Harvey?
No one knows, girls. I used to talk to him all the time. When we were on a commercial, we were very close, until one day in December of 2017, he stopped interacting with me.
He stopped talking to you?
What happened next?
Well, I started to become concerned, and I went out looking for him, until I found him on set. He didn't look happy to see me, but he was kind and smiling as if nothing was wrong. I sensed that there was something wrong, and tried to get him to open up, but he wouldn't budge. Instead, he went on talking about how I was the best friend he ever had. Even though those words flattered me to no end, he wouldn't say anything more after that. He was told that it was time to go. He then gave me a picture of him, and said this, "Lori Loud of the Loud House, take this. As long as you look at it, you will remember our wonderful friendship. You were the best thing that happened to me, Lori, and I will miss you." He was then loaded onto a truck, along with the rest of the characters of the Harvey Beeks show, and driven out of the studio. I never saw him again.
We're so sorry, Lori. I'm sure he is still out there and misses you.
Yeah, Luna, I always think that way. Maybe he is out there with a new career, and we might meet again in the future.
I can't wait until that day comes, so I can meet him.
Oh, I'll let him know.
Thank you.
In the meantime, Luna, I want you to gather all of the pictures you just showed me and present them to the rest of our sisters, including Lincoln. He may not be our brother, but he still deserves to know the truth.
Will do, Lori.
Geez, if they were going to replace me, they could have made me look a little bit better. I look like a freak in this picture. My god, were we really that creepy looking to kids worldwide every time those stupid cameras were on? Christ, I'll never understand why we were forced to do the first 4 seasons of this stupid show by Chris Savino, and my parents. Lenny, do me a favor and head to bed. I will join you shortly.
I will, Lori.
Thanks, Lenny. Have a good night.
You too, Lori.
Harvey, where are you? What happened 4 years ago? Why didn't you want to say anything to me? Did you not trust me?